Hello everybody, and thanks for tuning back in. We got our second playoff match of the night with Medieval Esports facing off against Parallax Gaming on Kafe. So Parallax will start off the ban phase here. So we'll be taking off the first attacker. Now this is a relatively equal-sided map when it comes to attack and defense. So it was recently reworked, so I guess we still are seeing a bit of the meta form through these competitive matches. So Thatcher's going to get taken off the board there first. Now that will be rather impactful, as there is a lot of work to get done in the way of hard breach when it comes to the top site, this cocktail. And on the bottom floor when it comes to kitchen, bakery, and or freezer, there's just plenty of hard destruction to go around there. Thatcher getting taken off the board will probably impact that in a pretty big way. So next we see Buck getting taken off the board. Now there is quite an ability for vertical destruction on this map as well. So while that not being a very common op ban there, I guess it does make sense as he can be quite powerful on this map. Second ban on, or the first ban on defense here, we're going to see Mira get taken off the board from Medieval Esports. This one, not surprising whatsoever, as she can really shape the way around goes based around those black mirrors, especially when you don't have a Thatcher to dispatch any charges and or electric claws that may be blocking hard breach from taking care of such things, possibly stopping a Twitch drone. So nothing out of the normal there. And for the final ban on defense, we're going to see Echo as we follow a trend of rather predictable bans there at the end. It's the only thing really standing out in this ban phase is going to be the Bug, because he's just not a commonly banned op, and I do think a lot of teams default to him for soft destruction, so that might play some sort of part in the rounds to come. We're going to see the defense head up to Bar Cocktail Lounge. This is pretty expected, so most teams will opt to go for either kitchen or top floor. I would say top floor most of the time, as the kitchen or basement site is rather new, but you do see a lot of teams lean on that one if they're able to grab the victory up on Bar Cocktail, or they just feel they need a rotation. We're going to see the Evil Eye come out here, and the Castle. These are pretty standard ops for this site. Castle just being much more utilized now, especially with that Super Shorty as his secondary gadget. I think we're going to see Castle get played a bit more frequently, as he is just oh so useful, especially on slowing down the attackers. They just have to place their soft destruction or prioritize it on a lot of those castle barricades in order just to open up basic angles. So definitely a time waster. And now with that Super Short, he's able to work in a bit of soft destruction and or rotation. So great op choice overall. Now let's see, still getting set up there near Cigar. The shields have been seeing a tremendous amount of play as well since their recent change, giving you a small view. A few slits in the shield there. And if you don't have any soft destruction to take care of those, they can become quite a hassle to dispatch the defender playing behind those, especially when you have one sitting there with an SMG-11 with a high rate of fire, a very potent weapon to catch yourself in close quarters with. So if we see anything that hits the normal route, we're going to see the attackers head up to the top floor here and probably get started on working out red. We're actually going to see, I believe, attacker go ahead and open up that window right away, but they're going to get caught. Psycho's going to find an early pick on the Bears. Maybe looking to catch the defense off guard there, but they will not do so, and that's going to be an early opening pick for the defense. With 2.5 minutes left to go, you definitely don't want to lose your Sophia that early on. So it's going to be some soft destruction off the board here for them. They're going to have to be careful now, as they only really have nades to dispatch that shield. And there's probably an ADS set up nearby. So, with just a minute elapsed at this point, the attackers have not done all too much in the way of getting any foothold onto the top floor here. Losing drones currently. I do see Sledge looking to get a nade on the player behind shield here. Trying to find a cheeky angle looking down the hatch, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it. They are aware of the player underneath Skylight there, and they're actually going to be able to do just not enough damage. Silent's able to get away from that one without taking much damage whatsoever. So I do believe that was the Kaid or Kaid playing beneath the Skylight there. He's going to hold that position, even though they are aware of it. This could prove to be quite dangerous. But for now, he holds. They don't have much control. They do have a Thermite playing on top of Red Stair right now. He's unable to open up that wall on the piano. As you see, it is tricked currently. He's got to be extremely careful. The SMG-11 is probably prepped and waiting for a chance to pick off the Thermite playing at the top of Red Stair. So Thermite continues to peek, maybe trying to get the smoke to get aggressive, and it will bait out a few shots here, but nothing he's able to capitalize on just yet. Alright, Psycho's gonna find his second kill. Gibbs able to tack on. That's looking at a 5v3. Very decisive defending start here for Parallax Gaming. They refuse to give up any part of this top floor. They have a full hold on this. With 30 seconds to go, things are not looking great for Medieval Esports. They're going to have to make a push. They're going to have to do it fast. But with the defense sitting and waiting, looking at all these proper angles, there's not much opened up in the way of hard reach or anything like that, so they're more likely going to funnel towards expected angles here, and this should be an easy win. But with that being said, they're able to find a pick as the IQ grabs a kill onto Gib, but Psycho's able to trade that back. That's 3 on the round for him. Pulls his pistol out. He's looking for that final kill. He does have diffuser, but we will not see finish come out. They're going to opt to just wait this one out, head on into the next round, get their bearings, and hopefully make some proper adjustments. We see that round very quickly going to the side of Parallax Gaming. They found 3 picks early on. Psycho playing a big part in that, finding 2 within piano. Even attacking on a 3rd in the final moments of that round as the attackers tried to funnel their way into sight, but just weren't able to find any opportune gunfights. Defense was just playing for trades at that point. And in a body count such as that, you do expect them to come out on top. So we head down into kitchen. It is as expected. We do have a player AFK here.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
Accidentally got the random pick, so it looks like we are going to rehost, folks. Sorry about any delays. We will be back with you here in just a moment. Alrighty folks, thanks for hanging in there. We are right back at you. This one round of action passing us by as Parallax Gaming was able to take the victory on that top floor hold in Bar Cocktail Lounge, and they will presumably be heading down into kitchen service now. As we've gotten all things cleared up and all of these players back in the game, we are ready to get this game underway. Parallax Gaming had a pretty decisive win in that first round there, so we do head back down to kitchen service. We will see if they're able to carry on that momentum as we move forward here. People definitely need to make a few adjustments. Maybe just losing that Zofia early on put them in a bad position there, as they lost a good bit of the soft breach destruction, which made those shields quite pesky, rather hard to deal with. As we see the fan wave coming in there in your top right. A little less of those. It's disruption for our viewing pleasure. Hopefully these servers will hold up for us. You seem to be a bit of a hold here. I hope the siege servers will bless us with some proper connection. Just a moment to get this match back underway. Alright, there we go.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
So, heading back on into this matchup. We had a pretty decisive win there. Now, Psycho definitely played a big part in that, as he was able to pick up 3 kills rather early on for his team. Gibb tacking on to that as well. Player count just quickly going the way of Parallax Gaming. And with very little map control and very little utility use, the attackers just weren't able to find any success as they made their way in the final moments of that round. And Evil Eye get placed pretty high up there on the wall. Seems like he definitely taking advantage of that counter.
10 seconds to insertion.
That Evil Eye up in a hard to reach place to make sure that the attackers are going to have either a Zofia and or a nade, something along those lines to dispatch that one.
Defuse a bomb.
Alright. So, a lot of teams will opt to take control over the top floors here before they make their way down, as there typically is a rather heavy roam presence on this map. And I do think we actually see 2 players from Parallax Gaming showing that right now. So there was at least 2 up top just a moment ago. Right, so they're going to have the call on Jaeger right away. You might be able to waste some time here. He's going to take care of 2 drones, I do believe. It's going to be a bit of drone economy taken away from the attacking team. Make it a bit harder as they make their way in, that's for sure. But he's going to go ahead and rotate down safely, which is probably the wise move. No, them just knowing that his presence was there will slow them down a bit on their take here. They're going to re-drone that top floor and make sure that they're ready to enter without losing anybody early on. As Zofia got picked rather quickly by Jaeger and Piano last time. Not looking to repeat any of those same mistakes. Capital does decide to swing on in. Now we have some players up on the top floor here as IQ will be joining him. They take control. We're gonna need to clear this out rather quickly because we're looking at about a minute 40 here. I don't want to get down onto that second floor and start opening up some of those angles looking into kitchen. We see Sledge looking like he's getting ready to do that, but not before he's getting contested by the Jaeger. So, Jaeger definitely getting engaged here as he's looking to waste as much time as possible. He's doing a pretty good job at it. Only got a minute left here, and the attackers haven't done too much in the way of utility, as Thermite's still holding on to both of those exothermics. And as I say that, Silent's going to find his pick. It looks like down to a player from White Stare. Another falls. And Silent finding another pick onto Nabozo, and that will be Dwy finding a pick onto Deception. We're looking at a 5v2 already. Once again, Parallax Gaming just seems to find some early isolated picks and is able to take control of this round rather decisively. So the attackers not having much room to work with here. More than likely not be able to open up that wall. They still do have, or actually they do not have the Electro Claws in pocket anymore. Apologies. Good chance that there's either a mute drone or a mute jammer along that wall as well. He is on the board. Alright, so the defenders are just going to sit tight here. They really don't need to expose themselves to any unnecessary gunfights, as that would just be throwing away the round. Maestro knows that they have to push. He's actually going to go ahead and get aggressive on the peek. He's going to fall. Anarchy finds 2. Why are they peeking? All right, Capital will be felled by the mute. Gib is asking, and he shall receive. That's 2 kills for him at the end of the round. Parallax Gaming does take that one. Things getting a little bit messy, as there was a few of the players maybe a little too far off site. Capital giving them a bit of a scare, but not before they're able to shut it down. Still pretty tall order with 3 ops left as well. So, 2 rounds going the way of Parallax Gaming now. Medieval is definitely going to want to make some adjustments in the way of utility, because they're just not getting any of it put to use, or at least on the entry. So I'm not sure whether or not they're just getting halted prior to any opening picks here, which is obviously going to make it a bit harder for Thermite to find his way in and or get rid of those charges to actually do any work with that exothermic. Especially when you're losing your entry fraggers rather early on. Especially some of them holding the utility that is oh so crucial to getting those walls open, proving to be very costly for the attacking team in these first 2 rounds. Alright, so we head into the reading room, dining room site here. This one is new to rotation. We do see a lot of teams opting to play it though. Typically you see a pretty heavy roam presence up on that 3rd floor, as you will see them prepping for such up here. They will be dedicated to holding that for as long as possible. So once you give up those vertical plays for the attacking team, that will open up a lot of avenues for them to work from.
10 seconds to insertion.
Nice use of the castle barricades here, making it a bit harder for the attackers to isolate any roamers playing up top, or even just to navigate this area in general. There's a lot of utility, such as mute jammers and or reinforcements getting placed here. It's just going to make the roam clear all much harder for the attacking team. And I like to see this kind of play here coming out from Parallax Gaming, especially when the attackers have had such a hard time just getting any foothold in general. So I do think that the heavy roam presence can pay off for them in a pretty big way. Though that is a rather default way of playing this, you're typically going to see the defenders hard hold that top floor. Alright. Naval getting the drones in at about 2 minutes 20 seconds. I want to keep up a good pace, as they did seem to fall behind on time in the last round. Do a good job at clearing out the room here. One watching white stare, look for any possible rotations. Getting a nice deep angle into A even. Ooh, the C4 coming out, but it's narrowly missing as she's hopping on her drone. That could have been her life, but luckily for her, she steps forward, and the mute is going to be without that utility for the rest of the round. So a big waste of utility for the defenders there as they get aggressive for the C4. Is not going to pay off. Ooh. Getting their drones out. They're looking to prep for some type of second floor take. Now, I don't think they've done too much in the way of vertical destruction just yet. A minute and a half, they're definitely going to want to. Alright, so with that being said, Sledge does get to work on this cocktail floor. It's just going to open up plenty of angles in the reading room for him, and even a few players being just below line weight. Alright. It's important to note that there is another C4 on the side for the defense, but Bear's going to find a pick onto Vena. That's going to put them with an opening pick, but not before they find one onto Anarchy and take out the Capital. That's a big utility off the board. May hinder their site execute in the later parts of this round. Jaeger's going to come on up, and he's going to find an easy pick from Cigar. Oh my goodness, an absolutely dirty shot coming out from Psycho. The man on fire, he's looking to finish out this round. Give him 4, please. This man is looking to finish it out. That's going to be it. Nice play coming out from the Jaeger. Not much you can say there, as the gunning potential just shines through, and we see Parallax Gaming take that round with an exclamation point. Not much to say. The attacking team may be stalling out just a little too long once they grab control over that top 4. You saw 3 people focused on the white stair there for a little bit. They probably should have just been opening up some angles vertically, and that also left open their red flank. Clearly, because Jaeger came flying on up those stairs and was able to make just a tremendous play on the attacking team that was just entirely unaware of his position. So, we head to Bar Cocktail Lounge. That's a flawless rotation. Parallax Gaming is up 3-0. Things are looking mighty good for them here in the first half.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Not much happening in the way of the operator selection for the attacking teams. They do feel confident with this lineup, and they do have the proper ops to get the job done. They have unfortunately not been able to allocate the resources necessary to get the job done, and or just losing a few crucial gunfights in those do or die moments. The castle coming out here, as he has been mighty effective in this matchup. Kind of zoning the attackers in which way they're going to want to go. Definitely wasting a good chunk of time as they have to get the soft destruction in place.
5 seconds left. Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
All right. So the defensive team played pretty aggressive on this site last time. Jaeger was just holding in piano. Pretty much in a do or die situation. When the Zofia opened up that window the first time, somebody was going to win that gunfight. He just happened to be on the winning end of it. So definitely some aggressive plays coming out from the defenders here, or at least on their first hold on this site. So we'll see how they adjust here. They are up 3-0. They do have to be feeling mighty confident, so we might see that trend continue here in this matchup. I'm gonna go ahead and prep that castle barricade. Possibly if any call comes out that there might be a plant going down, just gonna be able to smack that right away in an instant and maybe open up a angle onto an unsuspecting attacker. You see Zofia getting to work on Cocktail Lounge here. She's gonna be able to peek in the freezer, but she does rotate up. Eventually, as they are going to need to take control over these balconies, but that being said, IQ's gonna find a pick on the dry. So just like that, we see the castle getting taken off the board. Now, not a huge operator pick in the terms of utility. All of his utility is going to be out already. So he will still play some part in the way this round is shaped. Alright, now we're going to see them use concussions there to get rid of the ADS, but they actually have two, and now they've burned all of their lifeline. It's going to be rather rough for them to get in now, so they're going to have to manually take care of all of that utility that sits before them in Cigar. Goes down, starts smacking away at that barbed wire. He's just going to sprint on through, hoping to catch him off guard, and she might actually be able to do so. There's going to be Deception and Navozo able to find two picks. Psycho and Kid fall. They have control over Cocktail right now. Navozo finds another. Silent's going to be able to shut them down. He's playing behind bomb. They're not going to know he's there. Sledge will drop and immediately finish him off. Nice kill from Deception there to finish this one out and give the attacking team their first win. So that's definitely going to stunt some of the momentum coming out from Parallax. They've been performing extremely well up at this point, and rather decisive victories up until that point as well. So Medieval Esports looking to push the tides of momentum here as they pick up their first round. Head back to Bar Cocktail, which is expected, honestly. Most teams will often die on this hill when it comes to taking the victory there. I wouldn't be surprised even if we saw them go there again, or maybe down to kitchen service after this. We do experience the same fate. That being said, things weren't looking great for that team in the earlier parts of that attack, as we did see the lifeline get burned out from Zofia rather early on, which meant that they were going to have to manually deal with that utility, but it just not proving to be enough as the smoke pushed back. Zofia was able to slip through, and a few big picks came out from the player on top of Skylight and the IAQ.
Bomb located by attackers.
But that is just one of those qualities of Siege. A round that is just looking entirely your way can be flipped to the opposing side so quickly if you are not able to react and piece together the round from there. Really anybody's game. So we head to 3-1.
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
Attackers definitely looking more confident on that last round, if they're able to carry that forward. Definitely going to want to use that lifeline utility maybe a bit more, or maybe just make sure that they're actually clearing out the ADSs prior to using the lifeline. anything along those lines. Just making sure they actually find the success with the utility is going to make all the difference here, as they've been unable to do so. They're able to piece together one round. With that being said, not half bad, but if they want to find more, they're definitely going to have to get some better use out of that utility. We even see a lot of these drones getting dispatched earlier on. That's going to be 2 for Silent already. It's going to make this a lot harder for them. They are going to be properly burning out the ADSs here. They've learned their lesson from the round prior to expend their utility properly this time and successfully clear up that cigar hold. With that, you see Sophia on the piano window here. She should be able to possibly open up that wall for them. Clear some of those charges. We will go ahead and swing on in as we see Capital push on up to cover Pixel, but Bears is going to find a pick onto the player in bathroom, I believe. And that's going to put them in a pretty good position here as they're looking at a 5v3. And another one falls. Silent falls to Deception. Now we're sitting at a 5v2. Things looking all the better for the attacking team here to attack on their second round. We'll have to find last 2 players here. Gabe already proven to be pretty disciplined with this SMG-11. He's able to do some damage if he gets the right play. The Maestro hanging out on the evil eye, looking to have any easy damage or possibly deny them from pushing that default plant. But they're going to push from all sides now as they are looking at him from white and from default, but they're going to find one pick, but not before they get shut down from the anarchy that is Capital. So, well done there. Now they've pieced together 2 rounds. We're looking at a 3-2. Nice shot. They probably would have been able to get the plan off there anyways, even if they were able to find another pick. Nice try. But that round's going to go the way of the attackers. It's 2 losses on that top floor here, and like I said, surprised they went there again, but they do opt to switch it up. They head down to Reading Room Fireplace. This is one of the... This is a site that the attacking team may be less prepared for, and they definitely looked it on the last time they had to attack, as they got control of the top floor. It almost seemed like they didn't know what to do momentarily, or maybe just got caught up on the roam clear, so they hesitated a bit, and Jaeger was able to capitalize that on a big flank. They were all too preoccupied working on those vertical angles at that moment.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as
Nice
many
round from
bombs
the
as they
attacking
can.
team there, though. They were able to successfully clear out that cigar run. Then they took control over piano. Gave them access to a pretty standard site execute. Though it did become quite the frag fest there at the end. They had all their angles covered, and the defense had little room to work with.
Laser wire deployed.
Yes, up and running. Unrolling deployed.
So once again, we're going to see a very heavy top floor roam here. At least 2, maybe even 3 players playing up top at times have dedicated a lot of utility to this hold. A couple ADSs getting set up behind Cocktail and within the white hall there. Will optimize their opportunity to take some of these gunfights. Alright, as we see ample rotates getting opened up on the top floor there. They want to make sure they have the ability to roam around here freely. Hopefully catch the attackers off guard. They have been focused on the top floor clears. But not this time. Zofia will make sure that she's going to toss that drone in here before face checking any of these angles. Alright, now they're going to be aware of the position within white. They know there's going to be a heavy roam up here. Definitely why they positioned a good chunk of their attacking force up here as well. We're going to see Zofia just holding the angle into piano, looking to see if any of these defenders might rotate or get aggressive. Bennett's going to fall. That's Novozo. IQ doing a lot of work in the early parts of this round to put her team in an advantage. And Maestro's definitely not an op you want to lose early. The defensive player, Psycho fires back though, finds one onto Deception. Sledge is now off the board. Wow, a nice shot coming out from Freezer there as Gibb is just able to annihilate the player on Repel. Silent tacking on to that as he's able to find a pick at the Legion. I believe he was playing on White Stair there. As they have their angles covered up top, and it shows the attackers are looking for any way We gained an advantage here, but we're looking at a 4v2, and it's going to be mighty hard as the Thermite turns us back at just the wrong time. Fires back, but the Jaeger is already rotated. If he plays this smart, more than likely go sit at the bottom of red stair, or rotate to fight for another day. Defenders just need to play this one safe, and this should be their round. We're looking at a 4v2 here, and they definitely have to throw it away. But if they are playing for trades, by all means, this should be their win. We're going to see Dex get pretty aggressive there, fire a few rounds towards that door. He's actually going to fall. Bleeds is able to get the kill, but not before he goes down. 45 seconds here. Anarchy's downstairs, though. He's not going to be able to do anything about it, and he will be felled by Dwy. So, Bidders are able to find a very successful win on that reading room diner hold. Is they're able to repeat the success that they found the first time going there. That's going to put us at a 4-2 for the half. So, at this point, how the game's going, this is really anybody's game, as we do see Medieval moving on over to defense. And they did struggle with their utility a bit in the beginning there. He's definitely smoothed out as we made our way forward. They made some proper adjustments, made sure to expend those ADSs properly, and pretty proper roam clear as well. But unable to take any ties there or any lead on the half, as Parallax game has been looking mighty decisive on the rounds that they do win. So the defending team's going to have to do a lot to stunt their aggression. It seems once they get that one kill, it's kind of a cascading effect. Parallax Gaming does seem to take control after finding that opening pick. Alright, so we got a bar cocktail, as expected. Evil Eyes come out into play. We'll also see a new Castle as well. As I said, Castle's probably going to be seeing quite a bit of play, as his utility in general has always been favored amongst competitive players. Saw him a lot more in competitive play than you do in ranked or any other such games. Now being equipped with that super shorty, he's just so versatile with his abilities. I actually have the
5 seconds left.
That's interesting.
Attackers are moving to defuse
To
the
each
bomb.
their own. Now we're going to see them play aggressively within Piano here. We saw something similar from Parallax Gaming early on in their half. You see him. Oh, Castle just putting a late barricade up. Maybe we're going to get a spicy run out. Not just yet. Where is Ophia going to reach this window? As we're looking at a rather similar setup from both these players, Psycho and Bears have just traded positions. We're going to see what happens here. Psycho is able to come out on top. The last fight. The last fight that took place in Piano between the two here. We get a little bit of a rematch. Sophia's going to go ahead and press a little bit of that utility in hopes to maybe back the Jaeger off just a bit as the attackers expend the ADS into Cigar here. Nate comes out, and it's actually going to get the shield and the smoke. Big play from Silent. That's an opening pick onto an operator that you'd rather not lose early on. That's a lot of plants now off the board for the defense here. Attackers just need to drone and take control. They are aware of the Jaeger within Christmas, as he's going to take a few shots from the Zofia. Looks like a possible miskey there, and Zofia's going to find an easy pick on the Bears. Now we're looking at 5v3. This isn't looking great for the defense, but the attackers haven't made too much preventing this way of map control, but they are hard at work over there getting that piano wall opened up. Zofia playing on piano is more than likely to be able to swing in whenever she so pleases. But to be careful though, as Nabozo has had a hot hand, and he'll be playing over there near Pixel. Maybe looking to grab a pick on anybody pushing in. He's actually able to grab one, but he will be traded out before he's able to make it back, as the Maverick was just barely able to grab that kill there. Nice drop from Silent though, as he was able to save the day. He will not be making it back to site safely. We're looking at a 4v2. That's going to put his team in a much more advantageous position. The wall opened up here at crouch heights. Make the attackers feel pretty uncomfortable, and the Evil Eye is actually going to be placed at an angle where they're just unable to see it there. But he's going to get some easy tases, taking off a little bit of damage onto the Maverick. He's going to make them feel uncomfortable. But with that being said, it's too low an angle for the Evil Eye to catch that exothermic. They're going to go ahead and open up that freezer wall, and it's going to give them a lot of angles into sight. Oh my goodness, Castle's going to come right as he hops on the drone, and it's just terrible timing. Deception finds a huge pick though, putting them in a much better position to take a victory here, as we're looking at 2-3. And that's going to be another one. We're looking at 2-2. Deception looks to put this one
Seconds to go.
in equal tides, but he's going to fall. That is going to be Venom finding to pick his thermite. One going down for the plant. They just need to have Dry cover him here, and they should be all right. Anarchy is not in position to stop this just yet. Rotating through piano. He's going to find one pick. Those players within Cigar. Here's the shots go off.
Attackers need to
He's
protect
going
the
to need to
defuse.
bait
Position
the
compromised.
attacker out here. This isn't much hope on any other play, and unfortunately they're going to go the route of those crouch tight holes, and those are actually going to come back to work against the defenders there. Thermite's able to easily stop the defuse. So, nice job there from Parallax Gaming to take a victory on their first defensive hold. I'll probably rotate down to... My apologies, taking the victory on their first attack there. So we're going to stay up at Bar Cocktail Lounge. This is one of the strongest sites, so they're definitely going to want to find a early victory here. They look to have success moving on towards the other rotations. And things are rather dire at this moment, so we're looking at 5-2. They're going to need to pick up the pieces quickly, as Parallax Gaming is running away with this one in a rather fast fashion.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
As
the
I
bomb.
said, the rounds that they win very, very convincingly. Typically not coming all that close, so that last round was a 1v1 there. Most of the rounds prior have had a much larger gap in terms of body count towards the end of the round. Nice push there though, as they were able to isolate 2 of those picks early on, and from there they just held count in their favor, got to work with the utility, and though Deception was able to make some pretty big plays trying to put his team back in the game, just unable to close it out. Fortunately, the Maestro not being able to bait out the attacker properly, which is a rather hard position to be in, granted. So we move on to the second attempt at this top 4 hold, and we're going to see
Attackers must locate and
what
defuse the bomb.
exactly Medieval has done to prep for the second round up here. Alright, so Jaeger was playing rather aggressive in here the last time, and Psycho hopped on piano window to immediately hamper that presence. And they did a pretty good job at it, as he was held pretty effectively until he was eventually picked off there. So though he was able to waste a little bit of time, he was a part of those early picks that they were able to isolate. As he is kind of playing alone on an island in here. Little support coming from Pixel, but not much you can do when the fight's coming from the window. Yeah, nice pre-fire coming out from Zofia, expecting the aggression here. She's going to land a few shots onto the Jaeger, not taking any damage in the round. He's sitting at 50 health in a pretty aggressive spot. He will decide to rotate off though, which is probably a smart decision. They were able to find a pretty easy pick on him early on in the last round. Shields coming up here from White. So, in terms of hard breach, we do have them working on that piano wall with the Maverick there. That's going to give them access to actually take control over this part of the map, clear out Pixel, and hopefully gain access to that freezer wall. Because they do have they're both exothermics on the board still, so a lot of utility to play with here, but not all that much time, as we only got about 1:20 seconds left here. Looking at a 5v5. They have a lot of work to do, and a lot of frags ahead of them if they want to find success on this round and carry on their momentum, possibly put themselves on match point. See the lifeline come out here, get rid of that evil eye. Trying to keep present on that job. They're going to go for the impact trick, but they're actually unable to find it. Almost loses his life, but Bleeds is able to find an easy kill from, I think, coming through Pixel there. A silent trades back with the frag grenade, so we're looking at 4-4. Each team is able to find their first pick of the round, but not without losing one of their own. Things stay equal here. They are stacked up inside piano. They've based a lot of this attack around that breach, getting opened up into freezer. Swan playing cigar balcony as well. I'm not sure if the Jaeger is entirely aware of this. Gotta be now. She has pre-fired a few shots. Gonna give away her position. He's looking for any of these taggers to possibly expose themselves. He's gonna shoot the exothermic. It's going to give his position away. Nomad's going to capitalize on that. We're going to be looking at a 4v3 essentially with the Jaeger down. Anarchy's going to fall. That's 4v2. Not before taking a lot of damage on Thermite. But at a 4v2, Plant's going to be going down. They have body count in their side as another team from the defense falls. We're more than likely looking at match point for Parallax Gaming here.
Activating diffuser.
They're just going to have to play this one tight. Not give up any easy picks to the castle. This should be an easy round win. So, Castle's got a lot of work to do here, and unfortunately, he's not going to be able to climb that mountain. Stry is able to find the pick. It's the Nomad. That'll be 2 on the round for the Nomad. Very well done. As the Jaeger gave the position away, shooting out that exothermic, denying any access from Piano into Cocktail. But by doing so, he gave the Nomad all the info she needed to grab an easy pick there. And after that point, body count was well in their favor. And playing for trade simply won't do. So, nice job from the attacking team there. We saw a success in the utility, getting into Piano rather early on, relatively early on, as I do believe it was about a minute 20 left when they got in there. But nonetheless, they were able to get that wall opened up shortly thereafter, which gave them the success that they needed. So we head down into kitchen service as expected. This is possibly match point for Parallax Gaming here, so they want to keep the momentum in their side, or on their side rather. Because once that other team starts building up steam, you are never quite sure what could happen here. So I'm sure that they are looking to keep this lead, or rather aggressive lead at that. But Medieval has shown signs of life here, especially on the attacking side. We saw some pretty decent attacking rounds coming out from them, but no success here on defense just yet. Oh, coming out, nothing too different from the defensive teams. They will have the Maestro on the board in terms of intel.
5 seconds left before insertion.
The Electric Claws going up for some hard denial. They got one placed on the bakery wall there, and possibly one on the freezer hatch. I'm not entirely too sure where that second claw found its home. Alright, we do see the castle come out again. Pistol in hand, to be noted. But Parallax Gaming equipped with all the essential ops to take care of this site hold and put themselves in a victory here. Let's see them start early with the top floor clear. As said, even on these basement holds, you are not uncommon at all to find a player all the way up top here on that bar cocktail lounge. We'll be able to find a lot of unsuspecting attackers if they're able to do so, but not today. I'm going to clear this and more than likely head on down to that second floor to work on some vertical play, as we see so many teams do on this site. So, looks like they do plan to make the attackers work once they get down to that first floor, but up until that point they're going to contest very little, as the attackers will just get to work on some vertical angles more than likely. They're just going to lie in wait for them to make their way down and hopefully catch them off guard on one of these stairways. Attackers will not be feeling their presence, and we're just very nearly missing that gunfight there, as Deception, I believe the Nomad, are just tiptoeing around one another. Drones do come out here, so we got about a minute 20 left. It's a good amount of time for them to work with. Seems like they are finding their foothold onto that first floor now. Not sure if they just miss the Jaeger or if they're just playing into the fact that he was in. I actually am not too entirely sure if they're aware of the Jaeger's position. Right, Jaeger has rotated. He's playing down Red Hall now. And he's going to get picked off there, unfortunately. Just not sure of the player's position. He's going to look for a rotate, and he's going to get picked by the Zofia. And actually, that's going to be 2 picks for Psycho in this round, and that's going to put them in a very, very good spot to take this one. So, defense is going to need to sit tight here, hold their angles as this utility continues to get dispatched by the lifeline. And equipped with the proper tools to get this soft wall opened up. There we go, impact coming out. 20 seconds left here. This is a very Very doable hold for the defense, but Dwy is going to make it all the harder. But Bleeds finds a pick. That's going to be putting them in a bit of a better position here, but still a 2v4, very tall mountain to climb.
10 seconds to go.
Coming out. Getting a bit of a haze on some of the vision of the players here. We're going to see the shots come out, but he's going to miss, unfortunately putting him at a 1v3. Deception's able to find one, but he's not going to be able to find three. That's going to be a win for Parallax Gaming, and it just proved to be too big a deficit for the defenders to come back on, as the attack is able to find 3 straight victories there on their half, putting into this matchup rather quickly as we sit at 7-2. Very well played there. We see some pretty strong performances coming out from all the players on Parallax Gaming, honestly. A lot of big plays coming out from Psycho, Silent, Dry, even from Gib in those crucial moments. Vena being very, very efficient with a lot of that utility. So just a very well-rounded matchup there for Parallax Gaming. Medieval Esports, as I said, showing a lot of life on the attacking side of things, but just unfortunately not able to piece together the necessary fixes to take any of those rounds on the defending half. So with that being said, that is all for tonight's playoff matchups. We thank you for joining in and hope you enjoyed your night. And we hope you continue to enjoy it. I am signing off for now. Have a good one.